My name is Kuba Ruiz. I'm an advocate working for the international law firm Bird & Bird. And I would like to thank the organizers of this event for inviting me. It's very brave of them because I don't know much about Agile. I think in Poland we have 3 teams or maybe even 3 lawyers having experience in Agile projects. Łukasz is one of them. There are maybe 2 more. I'm not one of them. So when I was asked to say something, and I have 15 minutes, which is more than enough, I said, I can only tell you why I am not doing Agile. It's because my clients don't ask me to do it. And for last 10 years, I assisted my clients in, I don't know, 80, 100 big or very big IT projects, and none of them was Agile. So I asked them a question: why not Agile? Is it me or is it you? And I will show you, my presentation will be only the answers I got from them. I put them together, you'll see them. And well, probably the answer to the problems they raise was partly in Łukasz's presentation. I will try to add something to it. So I won't read it, you can read it. Incompetence cover-up. That was, I chose 2, but that was the main theme of the answers, which is not good. Now, Łukasz described what lawyers can do, and there were questions about what lawyers can do. I can tell you that this is Polish Code of Civil Law, and there is nothing about Agile in there, nor about Scrum. So, to be honest, you can throw it away. I think that legal issues behind Agile contract, Scrum contract, can be dealt with within 10 billable hours. So you need a lawyer who knows this for 10 hours. And then you do need a lawyer, or anyone else, not necessarily a lawyer, who would write down what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve, plus minus, and how are you going to be paid for it. And you don't need to use lawyers for that, because what is an agreement? What is a contract? Contract is like, probably there are some people here who can code. So contract is like coding. You just code some lines and then you need to execute it. So the lines needs to work together. That's all, nothing more. So first of all, I think that trust is important, and you need to have trust, but good contract is even more important. And there are, in Poland, as I can hear, there are problems with Agile contracts, with Scrum contracts, but worldwide, it's a pretty fair standard. So I just, while preparing to this presentation, I just went to my intranet and downloaded a very good piece of Agile contract, which has everything. And the answers are there. I won't give you the answers, of course, but the answers are there. And it really doesn't differ that much from a regular waterfall contract. Of course, the Agile part is described differently because it's different, but the rest is absolutely the same. So there are standards. So you can reach to that. The other thing is, and I will go further. As you can see here, the market says, oh, it's difficult to purchase Agile contracts. It's true that I turned to big firms where the procurement department is everything, but I received the same answer from a number of sources. It's simply difficult to purchase Agile services. I'm not talking about creating your own Agile team. I'm talking about purchasing services. So what is important you need to know that maybe a specific of Polish market is different. Price is everything. So in Poland you only compared price. Now it's changing, but still the price is crucial. The question how you structure your fees. Łukasz said he will answer to that after during the break, so I will leave it to him. But there are many ways to structure your fees. That's very important. There is a question of experience. That's the thing you can handle with. You can show that you are more experienced than the others on the market, and people are going to buy it. What you can attract your clients with is extras. Know-how, trainings, things like that. That's something additional. If your client cannot compare your offer with other offers, how will he know to choose you and not other firm? So that's a difficulty you need to challenge for sure. Organizational structure. That's a biggest issue, to my understanding, in big, especially advice to state-owned companies, and then the thing that Łukasz mentioned, lack of authorization. You need to have authorized people within the Agile team. If you don't, then the project will fail. I guarantee you that. I can tell you that today in the morning I was negotiating a contract, and half of a year ago we agreed that the customer, my client, will prepare data for migration, and his IT department was responsible for it. We are half a year after the delivery date and nothing happened, and no one is able to take the decision to devote some people to do that. So if you are not authorized within your team to force something and execute something, you simply won't get anywhere. There is a very interesting idea that Agile team is working directly under the management board, and then it's a project of management board. And if management board thinks that this is their project, they are going to give better authorization and execute things easier. I'm talking about Polish market, probably outside Europe, outside Poland. It's working better. I know that in England it works perfectly well, but in Poland it's crucial. Now there is an issue of culture, the trust that we were saying, and authorization. How to convince the organization to grant authorization. Conferences like that should be directed, or at least should be directed to high top managers of banks, big institutions, because they need to understand what are the needs for Agile projects, and not you, because you know that. Or you can share that thoughts with your colleagues, but you don't decide about that. So you need to have people who decide to understand what Agile is about and how to deal with problems they see. Unpredictable budget, that was already discussed. You need to structure your fees in a way that gives the management board a comfortable situation when they know that they won't spend infinitive amount of money. So there need to be some cap. I mean, I don't know how, but you need to do that, and it's doable. It's absolutely doable. But I can tell you that. Well, I was advising 2 years ago. I was advising to a client, and I saw that his contract is an Agile contract. And I'm saying, like, guys, you're doing Agile contract. That's very nice. And they said, like, please don't even use that word, because if you do, our management board will kill us. And plus, they will. I mean, you know, we force that budget, and it's fixed budget. Of course, it's our internal budget. The provider doesn't know it, but you know, if we go beyond that, we are dead, and the project is killed. So this is the budget really drives everything. If the management board can say, okay, we know we spend 1 million euros on that, do whatever you want. You have 1 million, they are fine. If you have 1 million every year and it rebuilds, fine. But they know that it's capped. It's very important. And the final thing, regulatory constraints. I advise to regulated market, the financial sector. And for example, the Polish Financial Supervisory Authority, KNF, prepared a recommendation D, which more or less sets the standards for IT projects within banks, and it refers to PMBOK and Prince2, and does not mention Agile nor Scrum, which is a problem because it's not a problem from the legal perspective, but to convince KNF and to convince your management board or compliance officer that you can do Agile within banks. There are banks that do that, and you have an example, but it's very painful process. And you spend hours and hours just convincing the decision makers within the organization that it's doable. It's absolutely doable. And it's because you didn't lobby too well. Because it should be simply mentioned along Prince and PMBOK. So, and these problems were mentioned by the clients. All that is what I just copied from answers from my email box. Again, what I want you to remember is that the Agile contract is not very different from any other contract. And maybe, I mean, from my ignorant legal perspective, whether it's Agile or whether it's waterfall, it really doesn't matter. It's from the meritoric perspective probably it does, but from the legal perspective it does not. What you need to remember is that you need to know what you want to achieve. You need to describe it. You may ask lawyers to help you with that. You don't have to, but you may use lawyers. They simply know how to do it because they are doing that. Law, it's 10% of the contract, 10%, 10 billable hours. The rest is easy, and it's here, and it's nothing magic about it. I would say that's plus minus it. I'm quite surprised. I'm quite surprised that Agile is not a regular way of implementing projects in Poland. I don't know why it is like that. I hope that thanks to conferences like that and other, it will be more popular. I would like to do we used to work together with Łukasz, but he left us because we didn't do Agile projects. Sorry. So I hope to maybe to do some Agile project from A to Z. I don't know. For the moment, I'm here to answer your questions.